Welcome again to my channel, Organic and Hydroponic Urban Group. Friends, today we are going to talk about mixed cropping method of growing different vegetable into same place. Today we are going to seed a corn and some beans together for growing into our urban garden. You can also grow it into your home garden or the terrace garden. Today in this video, I will explain you in detail about what is mixed cropping, how we can do it, why the mixed cropping is the beneficial, and what are the crops we should choose as a mixed cropping to grow it successfully. All that information I am going to discuss in detail in this video. So to know everything in detail, please stay connected to the video till the end. Let's start this video. So friends, as I explained you that we are going to take a mixed cropping into this urban garden. My urban garden is made of grow bags. You can also do it into the pots or other area the same way. Now let us first understand what is the mixed cropping. So mixed cropping is putting a multiple crop into the same place, looking into the consideration that both crop are not competitive to each other. They must be beneficial to each other or complementary to each other. If they are competitive, then it will happen the one dominating crop will take over the other crop. So as a result, the dominating crop only will grow and the other crop will suppress out and die out. Instead of that, if we choose such a crop which are not competitive but helping in nature or supportive in nature, then we'll get the advantage of both the crop into the same place and we'll get the higher yield from the unit area. Now, the crop which we have selected, the one is the corn and other is the different type of beans. Now, corn we are using as a main crop and the beans are as a supporting crop. Now, let us understand how they are helpful to each other. Now, the corn is the cereal crop and it is growing straight up and it is growing very rapidly. While the bean are the vining crop and they need some support for growing. Now, when we crop them together, the three things will happen. The one, the cereal crop requires a good amount of nitrogen and the corn will require the same nitrogen from the area. While the vining crop which we have selected are beans, which are the legumes. So they don't require any nitrogen. So they are not going to compete on the nutrition. So the corn will get all the nitrogen in that area and the vine crop will not require any nitrogen from that area and both will grow well into that portion. The second thing, the corn is going straight and it is very strong crop, while the vine is require some support. So when we put the vines with the corn, the vine will take the support of the corn and grow. So that will help vine to grow higher and that will enable the vine crop to take the more of the sunlight and have a good amount of the food generation into it, and that will result into good yield of the vine crop also. So this is how they are mutually beneficial. So now let us talk about the planting distance. The corn normally require line to line distance 1.5 to 2 feet and plant to plant distance 8 to 10 inch. While all the beans require line to line distance around 3 feet to 4 feet and vine to vine distance is 1 to 1.5 feet. Now we have these grow bags to grow and these grow bags are 1.5 feet wide and 10 foot long. We have 3 such grow bags for growing this crop. Now what we'll do to maintain the corn distance, this is 1.5 feet. So if we do the corn alone, then we can put only one line of the corn into these grow bags and we can plant in the 10 foot around 12 plants of the corn. Instead of that, we'll compromise on couple of plants and we'll do corn planting at every 1 foot into zigzag manner. So that will leave some space on the opposite side where we'll plant into zigzag. So in that case, we'll have a 10 plant of the corn into this. And on the each side, opposite side of this zigzag planting, we'll put one bean seeds. So that is how we'll plant around 10 seeds of the bean also into the same place. So we will not compromise on the place on the planting front. Only thing we need to do this, we need to do some pruning of the vine to control the size of the vine, and that is how we can take the good crop. Now let us talk about the crop duration. So corn takes around 90 to 120 days to give the full output, while the beans takes 130 to 140 days to give its output. Now what will happen when we sow the corn will initially take the vertically up, it will start developing, and around 60 days it will start developing the copse, while the vine will start growing and it will develop the vegetative growth up to 70 to 75 days. Then they will start the flower. So by that time corn is already set, and by the time the vine will starting flowers and setting the fruit, the corn is ready for harvest. So what we'll do, once we harvest the corn, we'll not remove the plant, we'll keep the plants as it is up to 130 to 140 days, and once we harvest the corn, the vine crop or the beans will take on flowering, fruiting, and we can have a 2 to 3 harvests of the beans from the same area. So this is how they are again complementary to each other into terms of the crop duration. So this is the way we can take the maximum advantage of the area and maximum yield we can achieve from the same area. Now let us see how we are sowing all these seeds into this mixed cropping. So now we are starting our sowing work. We have a hybrid variety of the corn. This is the sweet corn, and we have this flat bean seeds, so which we are going to put in this bed into mixed cropping. So now what we'll do, we'll take out some seeds of the corn and some beans. Then treat this seed with a trichoderma. We have coated this with a trichoderma, which will protect them from the damping off and the rotting. Now we need to prepare this bed in advance. So we have prepared this bed, adding good amount of the cow dung manure. It is well decomposted, and we have loosened this soil before sowing so that our seed will spread its roots very quickly. After that, we have to mark the place or put the seeds at a distance. So what we'll do, we'll put first the corn seed at the marking. So one over here, the another one is on opposite side, third one is again in this side, fourth one is on opposite side. Likewise we'll finish all the corn seeds. Now we'll put the flat bean seeds in exactly opposite to this cone, like this. So first we need to set the seeds right, so that afterwards only we need to sow this. After this spacing, now we need to sow the seeds around half inch to 1 inch deep. These are big seeds and it will come out easily. This is the monsoon month, so good amount of the moisture also is into air, so no need to worry for the depth, but we must not put more on depth. So we will take only 1/2 to 1/4 inch deep, put seed and cover it with the soil. Similar way the beans. So this is how we can complete our total sowing of corn as well as the beans into this bed. Similarly, we will complete another 2 beds in the manner. So friends, this is the method of mixed cropping of this corn and the beans. So how do you like this method of sowing mixed cropping? Write me back into the comment box. And if you like the way the cropping of mixed cropping, then I am also going to update on the another methods, which is basically a mixed cropping, but based on their crop selection, crop duration, time of sowing, and the nature of the crop. It is divided into many other names like relay cropping, intercropping, or the catch cropping. So many types are there, which I am going to make a separate video into near future and going to explain you. But to get all these videos right up to you in the time, please subscribe my channel, and also not to forget, give me the thumb for liking this channel. You also prepare your garden with this such intensive planting and grow maximum out of the limited space. Happy growing!